welcome to this video on the floor in my grandma's room because I am hiding from everyone. And I am here to read to you the essays / accomplishments that got me into Minerva University. I'm 25, which means I'm going to graduate in 2025. And so I applied in 2020. I applied, I think it was September 1st of 2020, and I think I was one of the first students of my class to get accepted. And today I'm going to read these accomplishments to you. The first thing you need to know about Minerva, and this is just going to be a very straightforward video, is that you need to submit up to 6 accomplishments. And what exactly are accomplishments? Accomplishments are like anything that you're proud of, something that you have done. And it's just like, it's not an essay, like you're not really writing an essay on Common App or anything like that. It's just like around 100 words, kind of explaining what the accomplishment is, why it's important to you. And of course, I made a video about it before. It's going to be here somewhere at some point of this video. Okay, so I have my computer here. I just closed the door. I have my computer and I'm going to read it for you guys. So, and just to keep in mind, these were my accomplishments, and I know I'm putting them out there, you know, telling everyone what I wrote, but they're mine, okay? So just to make sure that you're not really supposed to plagiarize or anything, and just because it worked for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you. The first accomplishment is my book. So the title is Publish the Book, Adolescente, the World Through the Perspective of an Audacious Girl, Young Girl. See here on the screen. I'm going to read it out loud. Okay, let's go. For a year, I observed the daily sexism in my life. My male cousin not being allowed to drink from a pink cup, being catcalled when I went out, etc. I then wrote 32 argumentative chronicles on the life of a feminist teenager in Brazil, arguing in favor of equal pay, SHRH, and self-love. As a stepping stone to girls' voices being heard, my book will be the first of its genre to be published by an adolescent. After the pandemic ends, I'll be touring Brazil and other Portuguese-speaking countries. So at the time, I had not published the book because I think it was in September. My book was published in November, but I have it here. So as evidence, I submitted literally the cover of the book, the PDF, my contract with the publisher. Yeah, and it was enough to prove that I was publishing a book, and here it is. And now the second accomplishment is, it's so random, like I don't know why I wrote this. I think I've already explained this in the previous video, but it's about my decision to take a gap year, right? So it's literally, the title of the accomplishment is Taking a Break and Finding My Independence, why I chose to take a gap year. So here we go. Okay, let's go. I've always been known as a feminist nerd with a 4.0 GPA. However, as adulthood approached, I cannot speak today, I felt that something was missing in my life. Actual experience! I've never learned to cook, to ride a bike, or to overcome my fear of connecting with people. I want to experience life as it is. For this reason, I summoned up the courage to read out loud to my parents a list of things I've always wanted to do. Some may not comprehend it, but this decision was my way of discovering the real me. This was like, Minerva asked people to write the accomplishment with numbers and quantify stuff, but then how can you quantify a decision, you know? So I really thought this accomplishment was not going to work because it was not detailed enough. There's no way I can quantify a decision, you know, that doesn't work. Okay, now going to the third accomplishment. This is a little bit more solid because it was literally working for Global Fund for Women. So representing South America in the Global Fund for Women's Adolescent Girls Advisory Council, as you can see here. Ta-da! Oops, let me just do it. Okay, so let me read this. Let's go. With other 11 girls from around the globe, I learned how different women can grow from their differences, working with philanthropy to develop the Adolescent Girls' Rights Program. My mission is to learn from the experiences of girls from Zimbabwe to Nepal, being actively involved in their realities as I decide which organizations have the best solutions to gender inequality. We meet every Wednesday for 2 hours to discuss the proposals. Thus far, we have granted a total of $300,000 to 8 organizations. So of course it's a little bit more solid. I could talk about the meetings, the amount of money that we have granted, blah 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 blah. Now the fourth accomplishment is so random because it is about an exam, it's solid. I literally talk about my grade, which I got a high score of 5, but this accomplishment is not about getting a 5, it's about completing every page in the notebook that I was using. And so for a lot of people that don't know me, I am obsessed with stationery. I have tons and tons and thousands of notebooks and pens and whatever. And I've never been able to complete, like, I've never used all of the pages of a notebook before. It's like a thing. So I was able to complete all of the pages and I got a 5 on this exam. So let's go. Ta-da! I have never used all the pages of a notebook before. However, when studying for AP Human Geography, I needed to work hard in self-study. 25 minutes of study, 10 minutes of break. Repeat. As I reflected on the why of where, and this was a controversial decision because my mentor who was helping me write this didn't understand the why of where, but if you take AP Human Geography, you're going to understand. As I reflected on the why of where, I embraced self-discipline. Score 5. Yet, results should not be the reward, but the process itself should be gratifying. My score is not my greatest accomplishment. Being able to use every page of my BT21, BTS reference here, BT21 notebook is as it represents my determination to achieve my goal. Yay! Pretty much self-explanatory. So let's go to the 5th accomplishment. Okay, let's go. Overcoming my fear of social media through a personal challenge, AANTS, which in Portuguese stands for Aprendendo Algo Novo Toda Semana, which is learning something new every week. Okay, let's go. Though I love to hear stories of other girls, this passion tends to clash with my fear of people and social media. To face this angst, look at me being fancy, I challenge myself to learn something new every week, involving personal development and social skills. I choose a topic from a list of things I want to learn, for example, classical music, which is true by the way, and attempt to master it in 1 week, and report progress on my Instagram account. So far I've learned about brand development, data analysis, and content creation. It was not my strongest accomplishment. I don't know why I included this, but I guess it kind of showed to Minerva that like, I like to get out of my comfort zone, you know. And last but not least, the last accomplishment number 6, which honestly I didn't really know what to put in the 6th accomplishment. Like, I knew I was going to use all of the 6 accomplishments. Like, I could have just stopped on the 5th one, but I was like, if you have 6 accomplishments, you know, just put the last, like, use the 6 spots for. Okay, so anyways, this is the last one, and it's controversial because honestly I feel so detached to this one. I don't know, I feel like this was a bit of a stretch, but I kind of agree with it. Like, I don't know if right now I would have chosen this one, but I guess it makes sense, so let's go. Number 6, I can't speak today. Learn how to identify my own bias and comprehend how my background influences my thoughts and opinions with boys versus girls, a social cultural analysis of gender differences in academic performance in high schools in Brazilians. Okay. As I interviewed students for my paper, which I also got a 5 by the way, questioning and evaluating multiple perspectives, I observed that the boys were oblivious to and unbelieving of situations girls experience in school. That is so true. Like, I honestly, you have to read this research paper. Many boys, in fact, condemned my research as they were unable to perceive the world beyond their gender, race, and socioeconomic status. I then began to self-reflect and identify my prejudices. Why do I think the way I think? What do I only perceive only through one lens? I am captivated by the importance of perspective taking. Yeah. Honestly, now that I've finished the first year of college, it kind of makes sense. Like, this is totally #interpretive lens. Like, I was like, okay, bro, I'm literally the fit for Minerva. Like, the more I read this, the more I understand that I'm like Minerva material, you know? And it makes sense. But anyways, I hope this has helped you. I can also show a bit of the other drafts that of course I didn't choose and that was not, you know, got cut into the final version. As you can see here, I was going to say that becoming a feminist, girl up and women deliver, and thank God I did not do this because Minerva is like, you should not put more than one thing into one accomplishment, blah 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 blah. But this is kind of like the draft. Anyways, it was all about feminism. This is so funny. Although I may be messy at times, I'm not dirty. I have the tendency to misplace things but not keep trash in my room. What is this? I genuinely don't think that this was one of my accomplishments. I think this is something I wrote for like the roommate survey. I don't know why it is in this document. I hope this has helped you. And good luck applying this semester.